Hello friends, welcome to Weathercast. Today's educational video is on one of the most important topic, which is the monsoon intra-seasonal oscillations, also known as MISO. Alright, so let us start. What is MISO? Monsoon intra-seasonal oscillation or MISO is nothing but the progress of the monsoon current in the tropical region, which is mostly the Asian subcontinent. It is also called as Boreal Summer Intraseasonal Oscillation or BSISO. The reason is because it overlaps with the monsoon season, the summer monsoon season. In very simple terms, MISO is nothing but the eastward and the northward movement of the monsoon currents. And MISO is very active between May to October. Right? So let us just look at a schematic. From this schematic, you can understand the structure of the MISO. The structure of the MISO is such that it extends from west to east in the Indian Ocean, and it also extends from the equator to north. Okay, and this is mostly very active during the monsoon season. So the MISO signature is such that it has a northward propagation and as well as an eastward propagation. And MISO usually comes in active and break phases. So if you look at this red color, it probably means it is an active phase, and this blue color probably means it's a break phase. Active phase is when you have lot of rainfall, and break phase is when you have less amount of rainfall. And these two phases of active and break periods, they mostly come in a range of 10 to 14 days. So for the 10 to 14 days, there will be an active phase and then followed by a break phase for 10 to 14 days. Since it is a Indian Ocean phenomenon which occurs during the monsoon season, MISO is controlled mainly by the East Arabian Sea and the West Bay of Bengal branch. So these are the two branches which play a very important role in the movement of MISO towards north and towards the east. So one thing has to be very clear: since it is a oscillation, it moves north and then it can also shift south. So within a monsoon season, the MISO can make this movement of north-south multiple times. That's the reason why you will have a multiple break phases and active phases within a monsoon season. That is why it's a intra-seasonal oscillation. So within a monsoon season, it will occur multiple times. Alright, so many people confuse MISO with MJO. So let us try to clarify that doubt. MJO is nothing but a unidirectional wave. That means it is a wave which only moves in one direction, and that is from west to east, and it very closely hugs the equator. It doesn't move north, it only moves eastwards, very close to the equator. That is very, very important. That is one of the most important difference between MISO and MJO. MISO moves northward and eastward, whereas MJO moves only eastward, and it is very, very close to the equator. It covers the entire globe during bringing periods of suppressed or convective activity. So it covers the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean, whereas MISO is only in the Asian subcontinent, which is primarily the Indian Ocean region. MJO is active throughout the year, whereas MISO is only active through May to October. It plays a primary role in controlling the weather between November to April, and MJO only plays a secondary role during the monsoon. During the monsoon, MISO plays a primary role in bringing the rainfall activity. So these are the differences between MISO and MJO, which are very subtle but very, very important. So as you can see, MJO is that it doesn't have a northward signature, it only has an east-west signature. Okay, so it moves from west to east, okay, in this direction, and it again brings periods of active and break phases. So somewhere the rainfall will be very high and somewhere the rainfall will be very less. These are the different phases of MJO, which is phase 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 8 phases, out of which the phases 2, 3 and 4 are the most active phases for Indian Ocean. So whenever the MJO is in phase 2, 3 or 4, Indian Ocean benefits. Okay, but again, the MJO plays a secondary role during the monsoon season. It plays a very important role during the pre-monsoon and post-monsoon seasons. Okay, so during the pre-monsoon and post-monsoon seasons, we look at the phases of MJO, and try to determine what kind of activity is going to come to the Indian Ocean region. Alright, so this is the schematic. The important difference is the MESO has a northward and eastward track. Okay, that's why I put it as a slanting arrow. Whereas MJO moves eastward along the equator. That is the most basic difference. MJO is a complete air-sea coupling phenomenon. So the suppressed or the convective phase mainly comes from the air-sea coupling. So if the ocean and atmosphere are coupled very well, so the ocean will give the heat, atmosphere will take up the heat, lead to formation of clouds, and hence a very low outgoing long wave radiation leading to rainfall events. So it is a complete air-sea coupling phenomenon. MESO is much complex. MESO combines both air-sea coupling plus the ITCZ movement, which is the ITCZ is nothing but the intratropical convergence zone. So MESO has both of them inbuilt, like the convection between the air-sea and how the intertropical convergence zone is moving through during the monsoon season. Because of this, it is a very complex phenomenon, which is an active area of research, and not much is known about MESO, and it is still under active research. Okay, and since it has a combination of air-sea coupling and ITCZ movement, the MGO the MESO forecast sometimes has a lot of biases in it. Okay, the biases are mostly in the amplitude, whether the MESO is very active, okay, or in the movement. Okay, so it is not easy to predict the movement of MJO from movement of MESO from south to north or north to south. Okay, and hence the monsoon prediction becomes very difficult, and this is the reason why the monsoon is such a mystery. Okay, because the monsoon intra-seasonal oscillation or MESO is one of the most difficult things to predict or forecast. MJO is also difficult but relatively easier than MESO. Alright, so MESO plays a very important role in the movement of monsoon currents from north to south or south to north. It governs the monsoon active and break phases. During monsoon, MJO helps transfer the energy from equator to subtropics via the tropical waves. So there are always waves which are moving back and forth from east to west or west to east, the Rossby wave or the Kelvin waves, both in ocean and atmosphere. These are the energy that helps in transfer of transfer of energy from the equator to the subtropics, and MJO helps in that during monsoon. But MESO is the is the primary driver of monsoon currents. MJO doesn't drive the monsoon currents. It is the MESO which drives the monsoon currents. MJO only plays a secondary role in giving energy from equator, which is needed for convection. Okay, so that is something that we have to understand. If you are interested in understanding more about tropical waves, a video has already been uploaded. You can check on my YouTube channel. I have explained very detailed how these Rossby waves, Kelvin waves help in transfer of energy from equator to tropics or subtropics. MJO plays a very important role in during the post-monsoon and pre-monsoon season when MESO is absent. During the post-monsoon and pre-monsoon season, MJO has an active role to play in cyclogenesis, okay, because most of the cyclones form near the equator, so it gives the energy to these systems. And it also plays an important role in formation of thunderstorms in southern part of India, the peninsular part of India and the associated southern part of India. One should note that thunderstorms that form in north and central India are mainly due to western disturbances. Okay, and again, the effect of MJO in north and central India is secondary. The western disturbances are the one which brings the thunderstorms for the north and central India. Because the reason is MJO, the effect of MJO from equator cannot be felt all the way up to north, which is 30 degree latitude, 25-30 degree latitude. Effect of MJO can only be felt from up to 10 to 15 degree north. Okay, that is the only region in which the waves can penetrate, because the waves also move along the equator, but they transfer the energy in the meridional direction as they move. But that meridional direction energy is only limited to a band. It cannot sustain from equator. You cannot send energy all the way to, let's say, 60 north. This is very similar to something known as the decaying problem. Some energy, so Doppler effect, right? So you all know about that. From the source, so sound will decay, right? Similarly, energy from equator will decay as it moves along. So the most amount of energy is only available within the equator to 10 or 15 degree north. Okay. That is something that you have to embed in your memory. Alright, so I hope the differences between MISO and MJO are clear. So now let us see how do people forecast, okay, or what is the forecast. So as you can see, MISO, this is the MISO on the top. MISO has this northward as well as eastward motion, right? See, if you see, look at this, there was a northward movement, whereas MJO will only be near the equator. The effect of MJO will only be felt close to the equator, okay? And MISO, so again, once again, you can see there is this movement, upward movement. So it has moved from central India and peninsular India to central India and to north India, right? So what MISO will do is it will keep moving from central India to north India and again back to central India to south India. That is how the MISO moves, and it is only in the Indian Ocean, whereas MJO has Indian Ocean, Maritime Continent, Pacific Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. So it will keep moving in throughout the globe. And right now, the the MJO is active over the Indian Ocean as well, okay, which is helping in some good rains over India because MISO is also active, right, and MJO is also active, which is sending some secondary energy from equator to north. This is what we talked about, right? During the monsoon season, MJO plays a secondary role. It does play a role, but a secondary role. Okay, it is a kind of a master slave. So if this is the master, MISO is the master, this is the slave. Okay, it will aid in the convective activity that is brought about by these monsoon interseasonal oscillations. Alright, so based on MISO, let us look at the monsoon rainfall outlook for rest of this week. Since MISO is moving to north between July 8th and 13th, MISO will be very active over North India and hence monsoon currents will settle near Himalayan foothills. Because of this, North India and Northeast India will get very good rainfall. Especially Northeast India will get heavy rainfall during this period. Okay, so we have to keep a watch on these heavy rains, which may cause some inconvenience. West Coast, Central and East India will receive moderate rains. South India will get moderate to heavy thunderstorms because now the westerlies have weakened, and when westerlies weaken, that is a perfect time for South India to get some monsoon rains in form of thunderstorms. So places like Bangalore and Coimbatore and interior Tamil Nadu and interior Karnataka, those places will benefit. All right. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and if you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more educational videos and also weather updates time to time. Uh, and please stay tuned for those videos and updates. Until then, goodbye.